Alright, what's going on, YouTube? This is the Two Young Man. Right now, we're going to basically get a look about a video record that I'm gonna have. It's called just I'm making a game with Unity, and then I'm just gonna show you how how the thing itself functions. So yeah. I'm just gonna give a quick look at it and tell you all the source codes right here. Alright, so for 6 hours I have been programming this AI thing, and it was very stressful. Right now I'm just gonna have a little chill out after recording this thing. Anyways, ow, okay. Alright, just fell out something with the chair. Alright, so this is the main AI program that I have actually created. I'm just going to scroll a little bit down for people who want to actually give a little bit of look at this. You can just pause for a sec and look at the code for a sec if you just want it. So anyways. So let's go step by step. So there are main progresses that I haven't actually installed. I'm just gonna actually install some progresses for future use. I just put some variables, put some if statements for future use. Anyway, so what this thing is that I just created this artificial intelligence using a movement, every movement that is related into a nav mesh agent. As you can see that I have baked up the navigation unit all by this terrain. It's big, so yeah, I'm just gonna make it as that. I am not in pro version. I have to basically buy the pro version. I'm gonna buy it as soon as possible. But for now, I'm just going to have a little bit thing, as you could say. I'm just gonna stick with the light version. Anyways, as you can see for navigation, I have posted my waypoint variable as a nav mesh agent, basically standing for as a cube as the basic blocks of artificial intelligence robots. As you can see in the inspector, you can see this all these variables that I put. Now let's go along together what this thing is. Basically, I put the update function as getting all the components of all the variables on this program function. I haven't done any single thing of send message functions. I just have get components and just edit them just right then. It's gonna get components is gonna be a lot harder while doing a multiplayer mode, which I'm gonna actually produce in some months forward. But however, I'm just going to try to stick with the get component function and try to produce a multiplayer function using the get component. I believe that there is a way. There's always a way in computer programming, so there's no worry for me. Just have to find it. So I got get component a waypoint. And I have to have a stopping distance, which is on one of the nav mesh agents right here. Basically going to have a stopping distance when we are hitting the combat range. Now the combat range is the range that these two AIs or something stops together in order to form a range. You don't want these cubes to actually squish each other and just try to attack each other by squishing in. So you want a distance range, or else it's not gonna look good. So I've done that using the nav mesh agent. So I have made it as the good and the bad, the ally or the enemy. So for the good, you're going to have targets that have a tag with you're going to find targets with a tag of bad target tag. So if you see on the tag, you see good. If you see the tag, you see the bad. Something like that. Same as this, if you are a bad guy, you're going to have a target that has tags of good. So this wander function is going to be the get component of wander rounds on the other script that I have actually produced. We're going to talk about this later. On the AI function, we have basically had if the target equals null. So for first thing, it's going to see while I run this, it's going to see that, oh, I don't have a target right here. For that, we're going to have um, for var enemy and game objects and targets. So this basically means that for all the things that I've collected, for all the tag of game object tags that have a tag of bad or good, I'm going to create a variable, and I'm just going to leave it as a for statement, and just going to loop around until I scan all the targets that I have basically collected using this tag mining, I would say. For all these tags, I'm just gonna calculate all the distance from my own transform position of this artificial intelligence, and for that distance, so if the distance is smaller than the max distance of the previous target, I'm just going to have this maximum distance is going to be equal to distance itself, and my main target is going to be the instantiated enemy that I have just created for supplementary use. It's going to repeat all that. So basically this is going to say it's going to find the closest enemy. I'm just going to have a target for the closest enemy on my surroundings. So yeah, basically it's like that. After we found the target, we're going to say if target does not equal null, which it is, and target found equals false. So this means I'm going to have a visuality calculation. Without visuality, it's not going to even detect it. So it's going to be a little bit more realistic and a little bit more stupid. Depends on the person. So it's going to have a raycast kind of thing, and I basically made it as an angle. So basically, one ray direction is going to point into the target position. One ray is going to point that, and another ray is going to point forward, producing an angle between those rays. So that's basically what it means. We're going to create that angle using a vector3 dot angle. Using the ray direction and also transform dot forward. Like I said, ray direction on a target direction and a forward ray on just moving forward, and between that range, between the field of view range. So how many angles will it produce between them? So if it's a 30-degree angle, field of view supposed to be 30, and within the 30-degree range, if something hits something, a collider object, it's going to say, okay, if this collider is a target, or if it's a target, you're going to say that target found equals true, and target equals hit collider.gameObject. So this basically means that you got two statements right here, arguments. This will be the main target, which is standing for the main target that I have specifically produced it, which is this. So the target itself is going to actually say I found the main target, so it's going to have target found equals true. I am not sure about this, though. I haven't experimented for this. So this is basically meaning that just if you find any target that has a tag of anything else, you're going to have the target itself. So target equals hit collider.gameObject. So it's going to, whatever it hits and whatever tag it gets, it's going to be the main target. And for the old target, I'm just gonna save it later. So the old target is going to basically have if the object itself just like runs away and it's not on my field view, the old target position is going to basically toggle my artificial intelligence to actually take a look around on the direction of the old target. So basically forming a kind of like a guessing, or kind of like a guessing or prediction kind of movement. So like, where did he go? Just finding the simplicity of positions. Just going into a much more closer perspective of basically predictionizing coordinates of the target's coordinates, basically. This is for me to actually give it much more visuality of basically how the computer and the artificial intelligence is going to get it's basically drawing a ray between the ray direction and forward, so it's going to have a basically some kind of an angle, even though it's not perfectly designed, but it's giving me the point. Target distance is going to be the basic target distance of my main target and also transform target. Target distance is going to be the most important distance material variable that it's going to have on the artificial intelligence, because target distance is going to have a description and also be a comparison of the combat range. So we're going to go into that. This is basically the engine not the engine, but like the restriction that I have made. So as I have basically cut it down every single thing, I found that max distance TL became like 0.1 millionths of the value. So you cannot have 0.0001 distanced cube that's going to be close enough. So it's going to have occur an error. So like I cannot find a closest distance cube. So what I have created was that if it goes below 1, saying that if it's -1 or if it's 0.9, etc., etc., it's going to equal to the distance that I'm going to have based on the calculations of my 4 statements. It's going to keep an update. For distance, what I'm going to have, the max distance TL is going to be the distance right here. So that's basically one restriction that I put, which made me a little happy when I put this and it was pretty successful. Yeah, it made me thrilling to joy. Okay, let's do this. If distance is greater than sight range and equals target found, so this means it's that so the distance that I have put, so like the target distance that I put somewhere right here. For actually, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be target distance. Target dist. Because we're talking about the main target itself. Yeah, basically it's saying that. So, good, as I'm doing this video, I'm going to edit some source codes. So far, I just put a distance and my experiment just worked right there with no problems, but I'm just going to have it like this. If the target distance between the main target and my own distance is greater than the sight range, so you can, even a normal person cannot see objects that are very far away. For example, can you see North America? Can you see the Empire State Building? I'm in South Korea right now. Can you see the Empire State Building while you're in Seoul, South Korea? On the other hand, if you're in America, can you see our 63 Golden Building that's just standing right in our building? Can you see that tall tower in North America? No, so you have a sight range, basically. So this is talking about that. If you cannot see much, so this is basically if it hits the sight range, if it goes above the sight range, however, it is a target found, you're going to basically just going to wander, and it's going to have a target lost. So I have lost my target. But it's going to wander around. So that's basically wander around script. Basically. I'm not sure about this. Wander equals true. So I'm just going to leave it like that. But, let's go to the next line. So if target does not equal null or target found equals true. So this means that targets, well, if it is like basically target is found, okay? If target is found and like I'm just going to go after it, we're going to have we're going to just keep going and just track it down, basically. So for if target distance is greater than combat range, so if it's not on the combat range, we're going to say waypoint set destination. So this is going to have a nav mesh agent. So this is going to set destination to the target position. So it's gonna basically move towards with the NavMesh agent, and I have really fun time. I had a really fun time with this because the NavMesh agent gave me a lot more smoother movements and a lot more smoother turns and rotations. Compared by, for me, just basically coding the quaternion rotations and also a look at or sometimes transform slurp, I say. So, yeah, for me, it's very good to use NavMesh agent. A lot easier and a lot stress-taking. Or a lot not stress-taking, I would say. So basically, as it's trying to track it, it's going to basically open up a timer set. So this is basically having a give up time. So like after I'm like tracking this forever, after for me this is like default 15 seconds. After I track 15 seconds and I cannot still catch it, I'll just say that target is not found and just target is lost, and I'll just basically give up. Okay. Give up time is going to be in future tense. It's going to be basically manipulated and added based on the emotions and the instincts that the character has. So if I go to top, I'm just going to basically implement the engine of this emotional variables. So if it has a lot of bravery, it's going to increase the give up time range because it has a lot of bravery and a lot of stamina. So it's going to track me forever. Fear is going to just basically just run away, or it's not going to even track it down. Recklessness is going to be multiplied by 2 because of bravery. Your recklessness, because it's going to have track you forever until it dies because of fatigue. I don't know about Joy. Joy's not going to even participate on this tracking concept. Caution is going to be a little bit decreasing the tracking level because if it's sensing a lot of enemies and it's going tracking forward, it's going to basically retreat. That's basically it for the emotion. I'm going to put this on the next moment that if I'm going to actually edit this source code. Let's see where okay. After that, it's going to say it's going to give up, and timer is supposed to be equal 0 because in order for a later use, okay. Wander equals false. If target is found, so we're gonna go bloop somewhere near here. If target found, wait, no, this is not it. I'm sorry. Where is it? We'll just scroll down. Wait, where's Wander? Okay. Excuse me. Wander equals false. I'm just gonna follow those colons. What's this? And do you have anything else? Oh, maybe this is just a strand of code that just like get down and like went down and down while I was coding, extra coding. So this is basically saying if I have found target. Now look here, we have it right here. If target equals does not equal null and target found equals true, wander supposed to equal false. If these restrictions are basically false, it's gonna have a wander equals false. Yada yada. So that's basically the strand of code that I have actually a hard time to figure out. This is the attack command. And for this, it's going to have an animation. I have not put an animation yet. So basically it's going to have a physics system. When it sees a target, it's going to swing its weapon or something. If it's a melee, it's going to swing its weapon. And I made a health script on here. If the weapon is hit on something, basically on the health script, if I am hit by a weapon or some kind of physical material, it's going to give me some damage. But we're going to say if this magnitude, so if this force is stronger than 3, G-force, I think is G-force 3, bam, it's going to have a much more stronger damage. So it's going to add some damage more into that thing. Range is going to shoot some projectiles. I have put a raycast projectile right here, and yeah, it's gonna go great. Yeah. What else? So this is basically the health script. This is just going to be just a this is not going to be this is just going to be nothing, okay? So I'm just going to have a boop. I'm just going to have like this. Yep. I'm just going to have like this. Assistant is going to be a, like, if my ally's hurt, I'm just gonna go after him, basically calculate all these enemies' positions, and if these enemies are like far away or like too distant close, maybe if they're too many and too distant close on my injured trying to assisting kind of helping kind of guy, I cannot help him. I'm just gonna retreat. If they're far away, if they're like not too many, I'm just gonna go and help him and surround him by basically not getting him killed. Or basically, if you're a medic, you're gonna help him. So that's gonna be the assistance function. After that, we're gonna see else if target does not equal null, or if target is target found equals false, or if target equals null, we're going to just say it's going to wander around, okay? So it's going to trigger the wander around function. We're going to go to wander around function and see how many things it's going to put in. So this is all basically nonsense. It's all nonsense. Yeah, I put a lot of nonsense to it because I was like I'm testing through some things, and like I have found some like things that it was inappropriate, but I haven't forget to delete some things. So developers, some developers gonna think like, what the heck is trying to do? Like, why did you put this? Why did you put that? So like, try to understand me. I'm a 12-year-old kid. I'm doing my best to try and do this. But it's none of my problems. It's not my bad coding. I've been coding for like, let's see. I've coded for about 6 years of my life. I've started at the age of 6. I started at the age of 6. C coding, yeah, seriously. I've started at the age of 6. Now it's my 6 years of coding. So I know what I'm doing, okay? I know what I'm doing. So like, don't criticize me or don't harass me by doing like he's a bad coder. No, hey, that's inappropriate for me. Alright, basically we're going to say, we're going to wander around, and if wander around is triggered true, which is going to say, right here, if it is wander, it's going to have a go sign. If it's wander, it's going to have go equals true. If also target lost equals false, which this is nonsense. This is basically nonsense. Why do I have to put this? I forgot to erase it. I'm just gonna say go equals true, okay? Basically, I'll just erase that, and yeah, go equals true. And why did I even put go? My God. Oh, I should have put go. And target lost. Okay, that was appropriate. So we're gonna say first we're gonna go to the go section. After go equals true, we're gonna send a go sign, and we're gonna have a timer that's gonna run. This is gonna debug log that I have just put for testing uses. Just don't care about that. So I'm just gonna have a rotation around, so like it's gonna like wander around, looking around basically, vigorously, because this is just kind of like a cube robot. And it's gonna like rotate to the waypoint that I have actually chosen on the random start function right here. It's gonna basically have a waypoint of a random inside unit sphere multiplied by the wandering range that I have put basically on a here, right here, wandering range. On the console right here, I have actually set a value to a wander range of 50. So it's going to multiply 50 times by the inside unit sphere. Just going to randomize inside unit sphere times the value that I put, which is 50. 50 blocks or 50 clicks. So it's going to have it's going to randomize it. The opposite position is just nonsense. This is also nonsense. I've been coding this 4 hours ago, so this is nonsense. Let's just Google opposite. Let's just like find opposite and like see if it's appropriate. Redirection. Yeah, it's appropriate. Alright, it's appropriate. Alright, it's appropriate. So it's a magenta for the opposite coordination. I'm just gonna give a test run and just like see how it does. Where was I? Here, right here. So on going 1, it's gonna rotate to the. Oh, this is the target lost. This is going to have in the go sign for your default wandering position. It's going to turn to the opposite position, opposite negative position of waypoint. It's going to turn and look on the left. Basically, it's going to look on the left. After 2 seconds, it's going to look to the right. Now, after looking to the right, it's going to have a timer of 4. After 4 seconds, it's going to send a command to NavMesh agent, say to set destination to position waypoint, and it's going to go to the waypoint. After the waypoint, it's going to say if my position subtracted by waypoint dot magnitude, which this is how close I am, is smaller than or equal to AI.combat range plus 1. For this, I have actually had some trouble with it an hour ago. Basically saying that the NavMesh agent is had a problem with stopping distance. So if my magnitude, if I get close to that range, so if that closest range is basically smaller than the stopping distance, then it cannot even reach to the waypoint itself, and it will just not even randomize it, and the object will just stick to there forever, and it's not gonna basically wander around. It's gonna wander around one time, and it's just gonna stop there. So what I've actually figured out is to implement a get component of the AI script right here, call out the combat range, and just add a +1 distance to the closest range that I'm going to get to the waypoint position, in order to basically just not have the problems with the stopping distance, and basically randomize the waypoints again, and basically loop the waypoint wander around function fluently and also easily with no bugs or errors. So yeah, that's basically AI combat range. After I get close, it's just going to randomize it again. It's going to randomize every single thing again, and it's just going to go to the position again. We're going to target loss right here. If target is lost based on the AI position right here, and it sends a target loss boolean command saying true, which is somewhere here. If target is lost, we're going to look at the old target position that we have actually restricted on the AI position, on the variable of old target. So we're going to Google old target. Old target. Damn it, target. Okay, old target right here. So based on the previous latest sighting of the target itself, we're going to basically say, we're going to just get a look at. So we're going to turn to the position of old target, and we're going to basically rotate towards it. Since it has a sight range angle, it's going to maximize the potential and the probability of seeing the target itself again while it's losing the target. So it's getting a pretty smart thing. After that, if it's not seen, so basically the AI is going to basically update it for forever, even without stopping. So as it rotates, and if it sees a thing, it's just going to automatically disable wander around on the AI script, and it's just going to follow that position. So it's going to automatically say that. But if it doesn't find it, so after 2 seconds, it's going to say, we're going to look at to the waypoint position again, and it's going to wander around for the same time. So, and it's going to wander around again. So that's basically a looping command to wander around. For Dodge script, I have basically not coded the Dodge script yet, and I have not linked or implemented this strand of code to the AI. So Dodge basically thing is the engine. So like this is like the emotion helper, or also the executive engine. I would say executive engine. I'm just like making a simple but weird metaphor that is nonsensical. Like executive engine, what the hell is that? Executive engine, okay, whatever. I'm just posting. I'm just like combining to a rank vocabulary into a machinery vocabulary. I don't know if there's a word called executive engine. Anyways, so we're gonna go to projectile script. So I have used raycast right here. So I'm just gonna like have a rate, basically do using time.time or delta time. We're gonna have a rate plus time, and it's gonna have a raycast engine. So it's gonna basically say bam, 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 bam. It's gonna like the lines of raycast is going to be shooting towards every time the rate is going to be hit at 0. So after the rate, if the hit raycast hits something, it's just going to automatically give some damage to it right here. So that's basically the projectile script. For a health script, it's going to be a little bit more interesting on the health script. So we're going to have a health of 100%, 100 health. And we're going to have a get component of AI, and if it's a health of 0, we're going to have death. It's going to be dead, okay? Now, this is for the weapons control. If a rigid body called weapon hits my body or something else, it's going to basically subtract damage that is brought to the AI component to the health script, and it's going to just subtract some health. What I've said, if it's a magnitude bigger than a 3 G-force, it's going to basically increase the damage that's going to implement it to the health. Object detection is the thing that I am concerned with. It has a lot of bugs, but for people who are trying to see this, try getting some answers for me. I'm a little bit desperate right now. So the object detection, what I was trying to plan was that even though the robot, my artificial intelligence itself, is not seeing the other enemy, but however, if the enemy just gets close to it, I want the artificial intelligence itself to actually take a step backward and just like turn around to that enemy who is being close enough and just attack this guy. But I am not having some kind of leisure moment on this thing, because like this is very, very difficult for me, even though it's the easiest thing, they say. So help me on this object detection, and basically let's just see how this thing goes. Okay, so I have these 2 cubes. Oops, I have 2 cubes. I'm just gonna disable first-person controller because I have a camera that I have used for testing this guy. I'm just gonna have a perspective of a robot, basically. Alright, so anyways, a perspective of a robot, pretty nice indeed. This cube guy is called the bad guy, and his target as the good. It's gonna target the good. This guy is called the good guy, and it's gonna target the bad. You see? Collision. Alright, let's have a look at it. So as you can see, it's gonna look at it, and like this guy is so dumb enough. Oh, it's found this target, and it stops, and it's gonna swing its weapon when it's updated. It's not giving damage currently because it's not even having an animation or any other rigid body weaponization. But you can see the whole concept right here. If there is no target to be found, the left cube itself is just gonna wander around, basically. So like looking around, basically going like this, looking around, taking a look around again, going to this position, as you can see on the line, red dot right here. It's done. Taking a look around again, and it's gonna take a look around again, and just gonna take a look around again, just scanning the positions of each player. So it's kind of like this. It's gonna move simply like that. If we just click to the scene and just go into this, we can just see the preview of this guy. And as you can see, we see the black arrows. This is the nav mesh agent, and this is the opposite waypoint direction that is pointing. No green or red or blue lights, blue rays, because there is no such thing as a target. just gonna wander around until it dies, until the computer dies. So yeah, that's basically the current Unity encoding that I have had. If you have any I don't know, comments or any like likes that you're gonna put, please comment me, please subscribe. Yeah, Two Young Men channel is going to give you the best and the most coolest videos on the future. And yeah, if you have any help with this, if you got any help with my own introduction of this program, please comment me. Please maybe just give me a thank you. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.